Hello everyone, let me show you the Tetris lesson plan. So when STEM Metaverse gives you a lesson plan, it comes in a folder like this with all your reflections and every other teaching aids, which I'll show you one by one. So this particular lesson plan is divided into 5 lessons. So the first page is basically a summary of what we're going to follow, step 1, 2, 3, 4, and then solving the Tangram, right? So this lesson plan can be broken down into few things which I'll just share with you. So in the first class, you're going to be giving children this kind of a sheet where children need to come out with a strategy counting the total number of squares on the sheet. Right, let me just take this a little up so you can see. So this is what it looks like. Children have to strategize and come up with how many. This is a grade 1 lesson plan. So many children who would understand addition can basically count 1 to 10 and then say 10 plus 10, 20 plus 10, 30. The only rule that you're given as a facilitator, which is also mentioned in the lesson plan, is that children can only count a little bit and not all the squares. The strategy that they have to share, the strategy that they will follow here to count the exact number of total shares. Now moving to lesson plan 2, where they need to, which is for the second class for this particular series, they need to categorize data wherein they need to tell us how many shapes will fill up the grid, right? So you can see the number of shapes on top of this grid, and they need to sort of figure out how many boxes will these shapes cover, and then count how many sets of these shapes will they require to actually cover the entire grid. And when they do that, they'll realize that there are some 30 shapes over here which will cover basically 3 lines each here. So they know that they will require 5 sets of each to cover the entire grid. Eventually they will end up, so when you say 5 sets of each shape, they get these kind of cubes basically, and then there are these kind of sticker sheets which looks like this, right? You've got 2 of these sheets. There are a few extras as well, and these are all sticker sheets, so you can peel them off. So children can cut columns like this and then just pull out the sticker. I've made one shape to give you an idea of what it will look like. So this is one shape, and likewise they can stick these small squares on the back side of the sheet and create more of these shapes. Now of course it won't have the same finesse, it's not even expected. And then when they place it like this, they can put it like this. Then they have to strategize and come out with how to fill the entire grid, which they'll be solving once all the shapes are built. So they basically need to cut all the above shapes out of these and then come out with and fill this entire grid up. So this is going to take another class, which is going to be basically class 3 and class 4 of this entire 5-part 5-class series, after which they're going to be then solving the entire Tangram, because now they'll have to put all these shapes that they create to make the whole Tetris, right? So it's going to basically be some of these T shapes are going to come up like this. I haven't built the whole thing, so it's going to basically be a shape, this T-point shape here can come in like this, which they'll cut out of a different color. So each shape is ideally going to be a different color, and then they fill this up and fill up all the shapes there, right? And they also need to count all the squares that they will require. So 150 squares will need to be counted from a plethora of from an entire box full of squares. This entire activity not only covers their counting capabilities, it also covers their mathematical operations, addition, the concept of addition, also gets them into the idea of creating sets. So these are a few of their reflection sheets wherein they'll get to follow some sort of visual routines, wherein they can talk about one thing that they would like to change, 2 things that they did well, 3 things that they learned, They can also do a self rating basically of how well they did this project. To what kind of shapes can they make out of this. They have to come out with their own shapes that they may want to give, which is why we also give a lot of extra squares and colored sheets to cut and create their own shapes. The third thing that comes up is that which of these concepts did you use? Addition, multiplication, division, or just counting? So these are things that can be discussed in the class and also shared in their reflection sheets. So the teacher then not only evaluates every child on the project that was made, they also evaluate on the various strategies that the child used to actually solve a particular problem, right? That is making this entire Tetris Tangram. And the kind of skills that we are covering over here are information literacy and critical thinking skills, and all the sub skills and outcomes are also listed in the grid, the Excel sheet that is given to you. I'm sharing all these downloadable files in my along with this video for you to see and evaluate for yourself, and also share your feedback and help us improve on our lesson plans. I'm happy to share any feedback, details, any other questions that you may have, or any other ideas that your school or you may require to actually integrate STEM in a better fashion within your school framework. Thank you very much.